Bonjour et bienvenue sur ma chaîne YouTube. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Learn French with Megha. Today we are going to learn les verbes transitifs et intransitifs en passé composé. So as we learned earlier in my earlier video, le passé composé, le verbe auxiliaire être s'emploie avec quelques verbes suivants. Auxiliary verb être is used with the few following verbs and all the pronominal verbs, for example, se laver, se promener, etc. Cependant, le verbe auxiliaire avoir est utilisé avec tous les autres verbes. However, auxiliary verb avoir is used with all the rest of the verbs. But there are few verbs which goes with both it and avoir. So what are these verbs? These verbs are monter, sortir, descendre, retourner, rentrer, partir, passer. These verbs goes with both être and avoir, and the verbs which goes with both être and avoir are called transitive and intransitive verbs. So what are transitive and intransitive verbs? Transitive verbs have an object and intransitive verbs have no object. In transitive verbs, object comes after the verb, and in intransitive verbs, object comes after the preposition. An action done on something in transitive verbs, an action done on oneself in intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs goes with auxiliary verb avoir, and intransitive verbs goes with auxiliary verb être. For example, il a monté les documents. Here we have the verb monter. So he carried up the documents. So what he is carrying up? He is carrying up the documents. Here we have an object which comes after the verb and action is done on something, on the object les documents. So it goes with auxiliary verb avoir. Il a monté les documents. Let's see the example of intransitive verb. Il est monté sur le bus. Here we have the same verb monter. Il est monté sur le bus means he climbed on the bus. So who is climbing on the bus? It is him who is climbing. Here we have no object who is climbing on the bus. It is the subject only who is climbing. So action is done on oneself and an object is coming after the preposition. So in this case, it goes with auxiliary verb être. Il est monté sur le bus. Now let's see the examples of all the verbs in transitive and intransitive verbs. Monter, in transitive sense, it means to carry up something. J'ai monté la valise. I carried up the briefcase. And in transitive sense, it means to climb up. Je suis monté sur l'arbre. I climbed on the tree. Here, in this sentence, an action is done on the subject only. There is no object. And the object comes after the preposition. So it goes with être verb and it is intransitive verb. And in this sentence, an action is done on the object. I am carrying up the briefcase. So here we have an object. So we use avoir verb. Then rentrer means to return something in transitive sense. For example, il a rentré des livres à son ami. He returned the books to his friend. Here he is returning the books to his friend. Here he is doing an action on object, not on himself. And if we see the example of intransitive verb, il est rentré chez lui. He come back to his home. Il est rentré chez lui. So action done on himself. Now, next verb is descendre, which means to get down something in transitive sense. For example, elle a descendu la chaise. So what she is bringing down? The chair. So an action is done on something. So we use avoir verb and it is transitive verb. Elle a descendu la chaise. Elle est descendue. To get down herself. She is getting down herself. An action is done on oneself. So elle est descendue. It means it is intransitive verb which goes with être. Then passé. Passé means to spend time or to take exam. We can use the passé verb to take exam in transitive sense. For example, nous avons passé un bon weekend. We passed a good weekend. So here we are spending a good weekend. So we use avoir verb. Then in intransitive sense means to pass by something. Nous sommes passés par un supermarché. We passed by a supermarket. Then sortir verb, which means to take out something in transitive sense. Vous avez sorti des clés de votre sac. You take out the keys from your bag. Here we are taking out the keys. An action is done on object. So we use avoir verb. Then, an intransitive sense, it means to go out. Vous êtes sorti de la classe. You went out from the class. Here an action is done on oneself. Now the next verb is retourner, which means to return something in transitive sense. Ils ont retourné leurs chaussures. They returned their shoes. Here they are returning the shoes. The action done on the object. So we use avoir verb, which is transitive. And in transitive sense, it means to go back. Ils sont retournés dans leur ville natale. They returned to their hometown. So here, who is returning? They themselves are returning to their hometown. So action done on oneself. So it means it is intransitive verb which goes with être. Now let's do some sentences. Nous dash de l'école. Here we have the verb rentrer. So we dash from the school. Here there is no object. It is we who are returning from the school. So we use here être verb, which it means it is intransitive. So we'll write nous sommes rentrés de l'école. Je dash un mois chez mon ami. I spent a month at my friend's house. So here we are spending a time. And spending a time means it goes with avoir verb and it is transitive verb. So we write j'ai passé un mois chez mon ami. Elle dash au magasin. Retourner. Here we have no object. It is she who is returning to the shop. So elle est retournée au magasin. We use être verb as it is transitive verb. There is no object and action done on oneself. Elle est retournée au magasin. Il dash la chaise de la chambre. Here we have the verb sortir, which means to take out or to get out. He take out chair from the room. So here the action is done on object, la chaise. So we use avoir verb here. Elle a sorti la chaise de la chambre. Vous dash de la voiture blanche. Here we have the descendre verb, which means to get down. You get down from the white car. So here there is no object. It is you who is getting down from the white car. So we use être verb. Vous êtes descendu de la voiture blanche. Nous dash sur le pont. Monter. Monter means to carry it up or to climb up. Nous dash sur le pont. We climbed on the bridge. So it is we who are climbing on the bridge. There is no object who is climbing. It is we who is climbing. So it means it is intransitive verbs. So we use être verb. Nous sommes montés sur le pont. Hope you understood the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs in passé composé well. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment box. I will definitely get back to you. But before leaving, I request you to like, subscribe, share, and press the notification icon to get the update of my new videos. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. A bientôt.